Awesome.
That works.
Yep. So within the next couple of weeks, we'll be finishing up the game at my place here. We'll be finishing up Age of Worms.
Oh, nice.
So we've done a lot with that one.
I'm going to admit I stole one or two things from the arena thing in Age of Worms for tomorrow night, and well, just some minor things. So
okay.
Yeah, I think that one was by Tito.
Tito the Yeti.
Yeah, I think he wrote that one.
Yeah, I had to do some rewrites on some of that. I had to do some rewrites for my gaming group. We ran it in Pathfinder First Edition.
Can you hear us, Nicole? Can you hear us wandering? Just want to check. Some rewrites, huh? That's all right.
Well, we also were running it.
Thank you.
With the Mythic Adventures.
Oh, okay.
Because it just made sense to me. But after running Mythic Adventures, I'm just one of those. I think that's going to be the last time we run Mythic Adventures. It's just too. It got to be too much for my players to remember. You know, especially with COVID going on, a lot of them were forgetting things because we weren't gaming every weekend or even every other weekend. A lot of times it was like a month away.
See, they had the tuna fish sandwich too, Anna. Can't remember what you did last session.
Yep.
It's contagious. Hello. Good to see everyone tonight.
Hello.
What can I torture with everyone tonight? Giveaways. Oh. Aha.
You find a goodie?
Yeah, I got some goodies here. Patrick keeps me stocked, right, Anna?
Yeah.
Completely stocked.
He even sent stuff to me.
Did he? That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, it was just rain, Elder, on where I live. It was all rain. South Jersey, I don't get snow Yeah. So, but thanks for asking. Just, it's raining still.
It's nice.
Casey.
And 70 degrees here today. So, yeah.
A little slow there, Casey. A little early, but that's all right, like usual. Oh, okay. Oh, that sucks. So early snow. Yuck.
Pass on that.
4 inches. Oh. Yeah. snow after my birthday is bad, so. 3 times. Oh my gosh, you shoveled 3 times, they Sandy. Jeez. That's weird. Tomorrow's night's a miniature building. It's the quarterly miniature building authority giveaway. Whoops! Don't try hit the exclamation drawing yet, everyone. It won't do anything. Haven't set it up yet. Hit that button wrong. Yeah. Tomorrow night, $75 gift certificate and $25 quarterly at miniature building authority. Tomorrow night. Always a good one. This is like the most quiet it's been before a stream in a while. It's like, not much going on here and chatter. So
Everybody's asleep.
no, I mean with us. I mean with us talking, yeah. I'm like zoned out right now.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Got this. Hey Keith, thanks a lot. Awesome. Very cool.
You got your comics ready for tonight, Mike?
Wow, that was a blunt answer there.
Hey, a blunt answer is still an honest answer. We'll take it.
No. Okay. We're a few minutes early. But that's okay. Early worm gets eaten. Well, that's possible. The early worm signs up for the giveaway before it starts. Oh, look at that. The hype train is close. Thank you, Julie Cat. Thank you so very much.
The early worm if it's from the son of Caius, you're in trouble.
Yes.
The only worm. It's great. Finding Greyhawk is
Always.
Still got a couple minutes here, but we'll come a little early. I got a nice follower I've been saving for to throw up there. Do that early when I come on here. Hey, Jacob Jansen! Oh, Jacob hype trained us. All right, Jeff, good to see you. All right, Jeff, had a nice talk with Mark, so it was very nice. So, glad to see he's doing well. We're just trying, busy. Thank you so tonight, kickoff. I didn't even realize it until after I did the initial posts. This is a Free City of Greyhawk week. All the content discussion and games is all taking place around the Free City of Greyhawk, which is really cool. Tonight, as enigmatic as it gets, I guess you could say, Zagyg himself. Because I guarantee you a lot of people don't know that much about Zagyg.
And yet there's so much about him.
What was that, Mike?
I said it, and there is so much written about him.
There is, but it's all over the place too, right?
Right.
It's not like concise in one area, you know. So, and that's the thing. We'll come on at 7:57. We'll come on 3 minutes early. Woohoo! Cheer. Nice. And Gary is somewhere in the nether. He will be here. You know what? I'm going to take 30 seconds. I'm just going to check my... Alright, I got no other Discord messages. So there we go. As people are rolling in here. Good evening and welcome. I'm Jay Killer Gazumba, and I'm really excited about this week. It's going to be awesome. I didn't realize we put together things that just fell into place, and it wasn't intentional. So with me, as always, I got Greyhawk Mike Bridges and the extraordinaire map maker Anna Meyer.
Hello.
And returning second time back, first time back, second appearance, Dewey Carthan. Did I say that right?
Carthan, close enough.
Close enough with my bad. Yes, Rick Miller, Gary Julian, the Pluffet Smedger himself will be on eventually. He got detained by the police. No, I'm kidding. He got detained. He got detained somewhere, but he'll be on. So, what's really cool about this week is, let me set the giveaways up here. Let me see. We get through that at level 3. I'll double what I'm doing here. But let me set this up because I know Casey's really biting at the bit to sign up here. Do some custom. We're gonna do some classic D&D reprint giveaways tonight. Watch this too, as there it's set. But I have a really nice recent event for a follower. Who's someone who will be on Sunday night, and there it is. Rick Rose. Nice! So there we go. We got Rick Rose following now, which is an awesome thing. Very cool to see. So look, Casey jumps at it first. So right now, I got four great publications. You'll get your choice. So I got Against the Cult. These are all reprints. Against the Cult of the Reptile God, Shokanth. Deep Dwarven Delver. If you're new, Greyhawk the Adventure to Begin is always a good thing. All right, so that's where we are right now. So, oh no, Caesar gave Casey man, these guys just don't. These guys just don't do their resubs quick enough. Oh, there you go. So, thank you, Caesar. That was really kind of you, though. I really appreciate it. So, Zagyg, then a game in Greyhawk tomorrow night, and then the Free City Greyhawk discussion on Sunday. So it's all Greyhawk all week long, specific. So Rick, give us a little background on your knowledge of the wonders of Greyhawk City and Zagyg, because I know you and Gary did a lot of really, joint things back in the day. And we're talking about a long time ago, right?
Yeah. Well, I originally Gary was really the one who kicked it off for me. His article, The Brief Annotated History of Zagyg, That goes all the way back like mid 90s. I think you have a copy of that file.
I have
too,
it up
there.
right now. Yeah, we'll discuss that in a little bit here. But if I don't hit the wrong button,
Is that his thesis paper?
Yeah, that
in
was the one
college?
that was one of them that he was doing in college at the time and had posted on Grey Talk and on the TSR boards on AOL. And it was hilarious because I got a hold of the thing and I'm like, oh, right, cool. Greyhawk content. I gobbled the whole thing up. I went through and edited it because he had a lot of his footnotes all over the place. And it was kind of a tough read at first, but it was well worth it. It had a lot of information, especially at the time when you're trying to find that information and couldn't find it. But the fun part about Zagyg, the Mad Archmage, had so much versatility to it. And a lot of people don't realize this, that Zagyg with an I is the mortal form. And the Y is the god.
oh, so you just taught me something. I did not know that.
Yep. So I have to even reference my own material when I'm writing and go, okay, am I talking about the mortal or the god?
Who made
And
that decision?
Oh, I can't remember, but I do remember Gary and I talking about it at one point.
It's in the box set, Jay. That's how it is.
The glossography, the 83
Yes.
box set?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't know.
It's been like that since the start.
Okay. Because we have this article from 270 with an I, Greyhawk's Grimoires. So he made
Yep.
them. Okay. All
Yep.
right.
The Comedicon.
You taught me something.
Yep.
Interesting.
That's something that I had to remind myself, like I said, because you start reading and you look at it and go, okay, this is the mortal version. This is not.
Yeah, the Zagyg lore with an I is like 90%, and with a Y, it is 10%.
So that is interesting, and I that's something. Anna, that slipped by you too. I never knew that.
I didn't realize. I knew there were two spellings, but I just thought it was kind of a mismatch, and people.
So,
yeah,
I would look at it like he's Lord, Mayor, Archmage, Zagyg, Era Journey, and then when he's the god, it's Zagyg. You know, you got to go by that one name. Keep it simple.
So Juan just said, so my name would be Jai if I was mortal, which I'm not. Good point, Juan. Wow. Man, zinger. That was nice. Hey, Green Lunar, good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a bit. Yep. So, wow, that's really cool. So I learned something right off the bat here. Yeah, I did not know that. I appreciate that information, Rick. And Mike, any initial, what comes to your head right at the beginning when you think of Zagyg?
Well, one of the things that struck me reading a little bit about it is that he was active during the heyday of the Great Kingdom in one of the big cities of the Great Kingdom. I'm kind of curious how he fit into the history of the empire. I mean, he was an important official in the empire, and apparently very potent even back in the heyday, so to speak. And I'm kind of interested, what was his role in the empire? Was it influential? Was it just seen as a laughable idiot over in one of the cities on the fringes, or something like that? That kind of part kind of interest me a little bit, because we don't have that much of the story, so to speak.
Well,
you got me there, Anna.
Maybe hopefully we'll delve into that a little bit.
Yeah, that was.
Let's ambush Gary with that question.
Yeah,
that's in his article, if I remember correctly.
Okay, awesome, absolutely. Perfect, great.
So I was actually going to bring that up here.
Yeah,
great, because
we can definitely. I have it up, and we'll start going through that. And Gary's just going to have to catch up whenever he gets on. So, Mike, your initial thoughts. Like, what do you want to get out of this discussion?
What I get out of it is that he has, when you're dealing with the city of Greyhawk and the ruins of Castle Greyhawk and the lore of adventuring groups and magic items. He seems to have his fingers in a lot of the lore. He keeps influencing stuff, long after he's gone and off and become a god. So it's to know his place in the setting, I think helps you immerse yourself in the setting.
I agree. Good point. Because the information is to the layman is not readily available. Right? I mean, there's a little bit in the box set, but to the person coming in, and that's one of the reasons why this was such a great topic, Mike, that you picked.
Yeah, there's a few seminal events and things going on involving him that you don't need to know all the nitpicky lore like me, but there are a few events that I think players kind of do need to know for further reference.
Absolutely. Let's head over to Gary's initial article, shall we?
Definitely.
All right. So I love how he starts out. Back when TSR first canceled Greyhawk in '94, some people in Usenet decided to get together and share their Greyhawk material. So immediately slamming TSR, which is wonderful. Yeah. So it's recently been edited to a cleaner format and has some new material added to the existing canon developed. So we know this. If you start points 576, and we're just going to say for the sake 576, unless you're post wars, post living Greyhawk 598 or whatever, we're looking at 295. Yeah. So we're looking at if I can do my ad, almost 280 years before published source games start, right? So that's just a rough time. And it says, so born in the city Greyhawk to the Landgraf of the Celenton, Zaydor Yagarini, great-grandson of Gan. So where's he coming up with these? Are these names in existence, Rick, or where are these names coming from?
I believe Gans was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe Gans was, but I don't know about some of the others offhand. But that's, always been Gary's thing, is that he'd be able to just come up with stuff, just come up with names and come up with the references and such like that.
Okay.
So the Gynarch of Hardby, I don't know about that, if that was in canon or not. I don't remember the name.
Okay. Marlana Triest, which I don't recognize that name at all, but maybe I should.
By the way, if anybody wants to read along to this, I did post a link to my website. It is up on my website that is posted right in the chat.
Awesome.
It's under lore. Look up. You can keep right up with where we're at.
Or you can just read it right here, too, if you can see it. I'm trying to make it bigger. Let me make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah, they can download it, read all they want.
Let me see if I go 175. There we go. Okay.
So, Jay, you were talking about the 280-year gap, and it made me think, this is like us today talking about stuff that happened during the Revolutionary War.
Or the French and Indian War.
Yeah, it's like...
Or the founding of, as I talk about my area, New Sweden, which is, was its own country, right, Anna? Yeah. In South Jersey and Delaware.
It was a Swedish colony,
wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
for some years before the Dutch took over it. Yep.
Yeah. And so we're talking about a long time ago, but I think there's no technology advance in Greyhawk at this point.
Pretty static.
But the great thing about it is that there's a lot that happens in this time. So he says here, most of my decision to post a birth date at 295 was based on the following Greyhawk ruins, which firmly establishes the date in which the construction of Castle Greyhawk was 320. So this is an estimate by Gary saying that it's definitely not posted anywhere. This is a Gary guess as to when he was born. And it also says lists the height of Zagyg's temporal power to 375 CY. Yeah. So it looks like he, choosing his birthday at 295 gives him 25 years before construction. I chose the date of his disappearance as CY 409. This is more than enough time to accomplish all the other things that are attributed to him while he was still a living mage. So you're looking at this, and this is still 167 years before starting adventures. He disappears. So he's out for, 16, 17 decades before that happens. Oh, that's cool, Alderaan. I did not know that. Wow, one of them was a was very neat, very cool.
Cool.
Yeah, right in my area here. So, the campaign guide firmly establishes Zagyg's parentage. Well, that's good. As the rulers of Greyhawk, from which he is also descended. The Greyhawk ruins describe. We're talking about Greyhawk ruins, everyone.
Yep.
Now, we don't need to get into the nitpick of this. Huge
My beat up
adventure.
copy.
Huge adventure with not a lot of. It's more of just a dungeon delve in and out kind of thing. There's not a lot of plot lines in here, right, Mike?
It's a Monty Hall adventure
Yes.
with a lot of Zagyg stuff sprinkled in.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I would, if you want to run that, it'll take you 7 years, and your characters go from level 1 to 30 when they're done, because literally
Right.
you can't. There's so many encounters in there.
And you will be
Tech Knight.
multi-millionaires.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, everything pilfered, and you will make the Free State Greyhawk rich with all the taxes. So
Yeah.
very cool. So we got. So we just had an attaboy moment. Although it is true that King Thrommel III, so the non-vampire version, there we go. I had to put that out there because you're all going to be dicks. You're all going to be dicks about it anyway. Becky does. City Divers goes back to the 1st century. Was founded on the mouth of Velver Diver. So, all right, there you go. So the early stuff is placed by Gary, and he's taken a lot of. What's the word? Liberty, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because someone has to. Rick, anything? If you input have made any changes or suggestions, please let us know on this area of the early. This is the early. This is as good as it gets, everyone, as far as early information here. Artistic license, yes, which is a good thing there.
A lot of that, I just went through and edited. The reason you can read it like now as it is because I cleaned it up so you could read it out. Especially now.
Yeah, fill in the large blank. A lot of us aren't very good at editing. I'm finding that out myself. So Zagyg attends the Academy of Art and Science in the city of Greyhawk under the tutelage of the Grey Savant. Ooh. I wonder if the Grey Savant has anything to do with the Savant, the tavern. That's a good question. I'm going to ask him that.
Yeah.
So, also, the Academy of Schools learned founded by the Grey Savant in CY 118 in the banks of the River Salantan. All right. It is not unreasonable to assume that he would have attended the best institution of higher learning in the entire region. Okay. Nothing really earth-shattering there. So, following the early mysterious death of the Grey Savant, Zagyg ends his formal studies. Did Zagyg kill him?
No, he did not. He just passed on.
Okay.
But it says mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Okay. But it's all right. A death of natural causes, or it says a mysterious death, which means that there was some circumstance behind it.
I'll play.
Yeah. I'm just reading through here. The Academy of Art Sciences renamed Grey College.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I read that up in the Malden article is out of Living Greyhawk Journal as well. So that's a good connection there. So one of the. All right, so this is still pre-Castle Greyhawk. Zagyg emerges from the city of Greyhawk as a member of the company of 7, which is cool. So this is actual campaign adventuring at this point, or is this lore leading to campaign adventuring? Did they actually adventure together, Rick?
They actually were an adventuring type group as far as we've been able to ascertain. They were Merlin, Heward, Zagyg, Tasha, who would be known as Igwilv, and I'm forgetting the rest.
When was that retconned? I still want to know when that was retconned. That was so retconned.
But I think it's cool.
Wall and Nolzer.
Nolzer, yeah. Those, of course, the last two I always forget.
And if I can
hey, Mike,
build off of that Company of 7 lineup, because I was looking at it the other day, and you got Zagyg, Tasha, Wizards. You got Merlin, Paladin, Heward, and Kiotom, who are bards, and you got Qual and Kiatam, who are basically rangers.
No
So-
thief.
no single class thief, no clerics
Well, Merlin
besides the paladin, I guess. Yeah,
didn't Merlin
but
dual class?
they're all spellcasters though.
That ties into this great article which we've shared before with Rick and Gary Holding, Treasures of Greyhawk Magic of the Company of Seven, right?
Ah,
So, and if you know, during the fundraiser, 2 of those items were recovered. Well, one of the I'm never going to use a Dragonborn was wearing the hat, and Nozzle's orb was recovered in the treasure hoard of the purple
Right.
dragon to kill down his character, Imri. So
Yep.
there you go. Very,
rip.
very fun time. So great article. Have to honor it by using this stuff in it. So it says all of them would have met in the city of Greyhawk and would have gone out. So he's only 12. He's only 17 when they started venturing, according to this, of CY 312.
Well, if you remember early
Hmm.
first edition and second edition, you could quite literally start adventuring as early as about 15 years old as a human.
Yes, Mike, during the fundraiser, Emmy's character got killed by purple dragon breath. She had 1 hit
Yep,
point left,
mhm.
and it
Yep.
did 88 points of damage.
Yep, she was kind
Ouch.
of really severely scarred there.
But she got the Order of Ulick has a Rod of Resurrection. It's a lot of
Oh.
charges for an elf, but
Mhm.
they used it. So perhaps Kellen the Sword Lord was among them, or even the former wizard Darren, and she was a paladin as well, right?
Deanne, yeah, I would say that she was a paladin. She was very focused on engineering, though.
Okay.
Most of her items were very much engineered. The instant fortress, for one, especially. And ironically, a little funny known thing is I was actually working on a magic item in my campaign at home. For my daughter, I created a shield that belonged to Diane.
Nice.
So she's got, think of it of a adamantine mithril mix.
So Angus McCracken, Troy, Troy's pushing buttons already, which is funny. But it cost him money, a lot of money. They took a lot of his coin to get a resurrection spell. He didn't get a rod. He wasn't. Rods are boop, and you're back up to full. So yes, Angus McCracken really hurt after that. So there you go. I know you want me to permanently kill some of Alan's characters. I tried. All right, so yes. Let's see here. The rulership of the Gynarch of Hardby is among the most peaceful periods in Greyhawk's history. 319 to 339. Pure conjecture and speculation on my part. It allows me to move Zagyg along in his life without maintaining the opportunity of rulership. One thing is certain: the Gynarchs of Hardby, the Spotrix, are able and willing rulers. So here's a question of mine: is Hardby on level with Greyhawk early on, and then Greyhawk grows bigger?
I
Sounds
believe
like it.
so. That's what it always seemed to be.
I believe so too.
Okay.
The actual Hardby, and at that point, Greyhawk was more of just a small trade town.
Because when you think about it, Hardby as a port should be bigger.
Mhm.
Yeah,
than it is, but that explains why it's not bigger, with Greyhawk basically being a dual port for both the Near Deep and the Woolly Bay, kind of.
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay.
yeah, and they actually were taking care of the what was called the Sellington at that time. That hit that whole Sellington Valley area.
Why? Because Rick said, "Screw you, Gary. You're not here." No, I'm just kidding. So, what do you want us to talk about? What? All right. This is what I'm going to talk about. Okay, I'm going to hit a button. I got. All right, I'm going to hit this button, and we'll foreshadow something. Give me 1 second. If I screw this up, I may have. So, Sunday night, as we're waiting for Gary to hop on, Sunday evening, Free City Greyhawk discussion. First off, we have Rick Rose coming on, and Rick wrote this, right? Wrote this book with Carl Sargent, the Folks, Feuds, and Factions book, right? All right. So I have two. Mike and Anna don't know this. Neither does Rick. We have a very other special guest coming, including both those on Sunday night. And I will reveal that person at the end of the show. Also, we have something even better that Malden wants to reveal at the end of the show tonight, too. So there you go. I'm stalling, Gary. How's that? So an unbelievable two things. A special guest coming for the entirety of the show, not just to hop in and out, and a really special announcement so that you will all be glued to Gavin on Sunday night for this. And I'm super excited about both. So there you go. There's Jay blabbing for a bit here as we're waiting for Gary to hop on. So, all right. Well, we'll wrap back around. I'm pretty sure on this. So he still hasn't done it. He hasn't built it yet. We're looking at 320s when this starts, and we'll try and hold right here. Yeah, it's better than D. Snyder. Let me tell you something. So, all serious historians of life of Zagyg number this year as most important of his life. So, all right, and this is when we believe the ruins of Castle Greyhawk itself was built. Early on, this is a lot of conjecture, right? So Gary's done a lot of nice conjecture in this article. Anything stand out? I mean, he's adventuring for what? Probably of his life when 8 years, it looks like, roughly. He could be adventuring with a company of 7. That's a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of time for an adventurer, you know. So, but nothing sticks out. I mean, these are all named. It's funny how, gosh, this is me just. Rick, what are your thoughts on this? The company of 7, none of them died, right? So they were real good adventurers.
Either exceedingly good adventurers for one, or the possibility of ample supply of resurrections.
Yeah, they didn't have Jim Ward DMing for them.
True.
Yeah.
Do we know what happened to Qual, Nolzer? You know, we assume they got to a certain level.
Guy, we're waiting for you,
level,
man.
but...
We're waiting for you. I'm stalling. I don't know. I don't know what he's upset about.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, Rick, we're gonna have to do
Moving
this.
right along.
Yes, Gary, I'm stalling as much as I can, man. So sorry you were upset about that. My apologies. Seriously, my bad. All right. So, Rick, what do you say?
Well, I say we should. We'll see if we can give Erie a couple of minutes here.
We can definitely come out
and just swing back to this.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
to the present,
I
work
want
backwards.
his. I'd like to get his input.
Yeah,
more than anything.
we're just going
this
going slow here, man. I mean,
So I'd like to swing back to that.
oh man. All right. So someone else bring up something, please.
Zagyg, the god.
Yeah.
So he ends up taking the portfolio of humor, eccentricity, stuff like that, which implies that the position was not filled before he ended up in there. And, we all know he, was the mad archmage and everything, but I'm sure when he was gunning for, immortality, was that what he was wanting to be the god of?
Yeah, I wonder that too.
Insanity.
Yeah, and how close to Bokov is he? Is he Bokov's
Very.
helper or yeah?
Yeah, because I think the box that refers to him doing missions and whatnot, he's like basically his right-hand man, So he must have, and I've toyed with this in my comics back in the day, how Zagyg is the god. is he pesters Bakub a lot. You know, and it was because you think about Bakub's the
Bokov
uncaring.
seems to
Why-
be the least humorous god in
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
portfolio.
it's
So
a
in
odd
the
couple
pantheon.
situation.
Yeah.
So he probably pestered him into, you know, let me be a guy, let me be a guy, let me be a guy. Okay.
Okay.
Or
So
kept playing pranks.
Justine's just asked, because of your stream, I started reading the Gordon Rogue novels. Can you suggest a reading order? I read them in exact order, man. So I would go.
Yeah, read them in the order.
Read them in order, which is
Saga of Old
Remember?
City.
Saga of Old City, Artifact of Evil, Sea of Death, Knight Errant, City of Hawks, Come Endless Darkness, Dance of Demons. Correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I would read them in that order.
Yeah.
So
It's the only Knight Errant is a lot of different stories from a little bit different times, so that one doesn't fit in the timeline perfectly, so to speak. The other ones make up more of a timeline. The Knight Errant is kind of what I think is an anthology of separate little stories from various
Yeah, one of the
places.
books is kind of a
Yeah.
flashback.
I'd still read them in order. I'd still read
yeah.
them. Zagging,
Yeah. Mhm.
All right,
Yeah.
so Mr. Joe, we're going to do a quick Q&A here for a bit. So Mr. Joel said, are
Sure.
Zagyg and Vecna on equal standing in godhood? I hate Vecna as a god. I hate it. I hate it.
At one time they were.
Yeah.
Probably.
There's an elevation. Rick, what are your thoughts on that too?
I've always thought that Vecna has his own his own way of doing things, and he chose a way to cheat the system rather than even trying to get any divine assistance whatsoever. I mean, he never went to Nerul, he never went to any of the gods to actually get,
Not to any Greyhawk gods.
Yeah. And to that end, he's even broke into other worlds. He's a god of secrets and lies, and to any means that he can get what he wants. Whereas Zagyg has always been hand in hand with Bokab. I've always kind of seen Zagyg as Bokab's right hand of, okay, I don't want to deal with this. Go take care of this. Make it go away.
And if you subscribe to the worshippers equal power theory, Vecna probably does have more worshippers than Zagyg.
Yeah, and I think also the important here is the time scale, meaning Vecna to me is ancient, meaning that's ancient history. The world was very different, and maybe even the how to ascend to godhood was different, meaning Vecna's world to me was a completely different world historically, meaning that's like the old kind of medieval old times for Greyhawk compared to Zagyg, that is more in the heyday of the modern
still
Greyhawk.
had to become a lich though before a god.
So I have him as
Mm-hmm.
that the culture was very different, meaning I have it as the heyday of the Flan, meaning 2,000 years ago, and part of Flan being big, and he ruled by being a tyrant over a large empire of stuff, so to speak, and one of the early lich lords, and everybody was terrified looking up to him in awe and stuff. So it was like a completely different story in many ways, and a completely different political situation, cultural situation, and stuff from Zagyg is, what is it, like 1,600 years or something later, and things have changed very much.
So Mike,
that's just my interpretation of it, so to speak.
Mike asked, "What is this book?" And so I'm jumping ahead here. Well, yeah.
Good.
So you have Greyhawk Ruins, and we're talking about, like, as you can see in the background, there's a picture there of it. That changes too. Is there 3 towers there? I don't know. Right?
Oh, on that picture?
Yeah, but is it? I guess they're spread out. The other one's not showing in that picture, right?
Right. You see, because there's a central pathway to the middle tower, and then the other 2 wing off from there.
Yeah.
Artist interpretation.
Well,
but that's clear. That's clearly marked on any map, overhead map you'll see of the Greyhawk Ruins. There's 3 towers, and they're separated by bridges, like stone bridge across each one.
So, yeah, I'm doing my best
Did
here,
that
everyone.
answer the question?
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
there's a bridge from the middle to the other two, right?
I guess so, but that's the all right. So that's the original, and then we go to this book, which is the Eric Mona, James Jacobs, and Jason Bowman.
Mhm.
Basically, compilate the final publication ever made in the Paizo Hawk era. Now we've had them on, so this kind of
No, not in the Paizo Hawk era, but in the Whistle of the Coast. Or was that doing? Oh, never mind. Continue. Just me. Never mind.
it may have been in the Paizo Hawk era. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm trying to do my best, and if I screwed up by talking about Gary's post first, I'm sorry, but I didn't know where to start. Okay, so
No worries.
all
Yep.
right, I didn't think it was a big deal. I thought we were gonna go back and we're just rehashing stuff. So made a mistake, my bad. You know, my fault. You know, Rick, sorry. You know,
And it's okay. I'm talking to him as well in the background. So,
all right. Well, let's just I
so
don't know what to do there. You know, that's on
We
me.
barely got started on it.
Well, that's yeah, but you know,
Okay.
sorry about the form mistake there. All right, just note that, please. All right, so no, Amy, not at all. So in this
I
book,
wanted to.
this book, thanks, Bill. This book's a compilation of a lot of works, and from this, Zagyg is really all throughout it, but not right. Just and that's kind of the feeling that I get as in this time is that if you were a part of that third edition era and you played, and this really drew when I ran this. And I ran this before I went streaming. This kind of drew me into Zagyg himself. It's like I don't know that much because I was never a scholar of Zagyg, and I didn't know. But I was like, wow, why would he do all this stuff? I mean, you get into the depths further and further into the depths of the ruins, and you are really like, man, there's these teleporters and there's these all sorts of crazy stuff in here. And 3 towers. There's 3 whole towers of this setup, and like just it gets deeper and deeper and deeper with a lot of and there's portals to other worlds, and there's a power source down here which I still don't understand. I guess he found it. He randomly finds this. Rick, is that what happens?
that's what I've kind of been my impression of it as well. Is that he just came upon it. The entire area underneath there is actually all what was called Oerth blood, which is its own material.
Yeah. Earth blood is it found in multiple places in Greyhawk?
Yes, it's actually underneath Tenser's castle as well.
Right.
Do we know of any other locations?
I've kind of always speculated that it would actually be underneath the Veil of the Mage as well. I think that is another main area that it would be under.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's another area that I've always considered that would have Oerth blood. If I remember correctly, there were some places in Ivid the Undying that had it as well. Iron Gate is another, that is correct. But there
is that why there's portals in Iron Gate? Does it have to do with the Earth blood and the world's end, or is that a different?
I think it's something slightly different.
Okay.
But I don't think the portals are there because of that. I think they're there as another reason.
Okay. All right. Well, I ran this, and it's awesome, and the storyline's great, and it kind of ties up a lot of loose ends when it comes to the end of that era. And I did not know that when we ran it, because I remember I wasn't involved in the community back then. but I like the synopsis of it with you know, the different towers. You don't have to do so. You don't have to go through every single location like you do in this book, right? This book, it's basically a slog through, and it's going in. You're attempting to get treasure. You come out, right? Does that sound about right, Mike?
Right.
This
Yeah.
one here is more of a vault. You're going into different areas. There's a storyline behind it. Now, of course, everyone always argues with me about the stupid army and going under the tunnel under the near Deve. All right, whatever. That's kind of a little crazy, but you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. So, all sorts of fun things happen in this adventure. I wish if there's one thing I could do and go back in time is I wish we could have streamed this, because this took place over months. It took place over months. It was fantastic, and look,
interesting little tidbit in there as well. How we were talking about Age of Worms, the arena guy, the guy who ran the arena, Loris Rachnian, is in this dungeon. This follows up after the Age of Worms.
Little.
Yeah, I just saw his picture.
Well, they like to title that stuff in.
Well, right there.
There he is.
Yep.
One thing about him, and they do a good job with it with other individuals, like Kellic, right, is in Age of Worms.
Yep.
Tira's in Age of Worms.
Tensor's in Age of Worms.
Right. And so they kind of link in a lot of storylines in here, which is brilliant. Rachnian is kind of gets thwarted in the Age of Worms. I never ran Age of Worms, so I skipped that and ran this. I did not know that connection. So, but
just one adventure, maybe two, out of the whole mix that he factors into.
Yeah, and like I said I think it was off camera. I said I stole one or two minor tidbits from that. I think it's the 5th adventure in the line of Age of Worms. For a little hint for tomorrow night. So, yep.
So you ran Expedition, right? But you didn't run Grek Ruins? Sound the opposite. You know, I ran this entire damn thing, but I did not get through this. And that's how I was looking through it, and I'm like, no, you said like it's Expedition's a synopsis. It's like some set pieces with a storyline. It has it going back and forth from the castle to Grove City. But what I noticed was Greyhawk Ruins and Expedition, the maps are nowhere near the same. Expedition has nicer, probably more concise maps, but I don't think you can run them both without some serious
retcon editing.
Major changes.
Yeah.
I had to do
there was one level on there.
I'm
like, what the hell is this? You know, there's a whole Zagyg level on there. I've never, you know, I don't know where it would fit.
I liked Expeditions a lot, and I'm not just kissing Eric Mona's behind there. I like the subplots. I like the full plot line that was going on with Rigby passing. I like that, right? I like that, and I liked. You get a feel of this, and this is where we're going back to Zagyg. You get a feel of how out there Zagyg was in bits and pieces in this as you're going through certain levels.
It explains his thought process for what each room, yeah.
And to think that you have connections to Dungeon Land, right? Isle of the Ape, and which one am I missing? There's another one. Mordenkainen's Fantastic Adventure?
No, that's Mar Castle.
What's the third one? There's a third one.
There's one where you go to an abyssal plane, I think.
Yeah, okay. It's just an abyssal plane, right?
Land Beyond the Magic Mirror.
How could I forget that?
I had to think of it real quick.
Yeah,
it's right on the tip of my
But yeah,
tongue.
there's demi-planes in there, and it's much more economical on its use of time and page space, because if they did a 3.5 version of Dark Ruins, that thing would have been super thick.
So
Yeah.
Mr.
Like,
Yeah, so Mr. Vane
Yeah.
reappears multiple times in my game. He's basically the whipping boy of Ayus, right? I even have him as an undead grave master up in the Shieldlands afterwards. But after he gets killed again, Ayus kills him like multiple times, right? I think he kills him in front of everyone in expeditions too.
Just didn't stay down.
Yeah, so sometimes you got to stay down, but definitely they needed a whipping boy so they didn't have to kill any major characters, and they solved that in expeditions by Igwil being a simulacrum, right? Trying to be a self-willed simulacrum, a little slightly far-fetched, but that way if they thwart her, it doesn't matter. You know, it's kind of genius on their part to do that. So, all right.
I've done things similar.
Yeah. So, well. All right. Well, so I guess where do we go from here? Do we continue this or not? I mean,
Well, we've got expedition. Let's see. We could go over some of the spells that he's done in the past.
okay, sounds good.
We've got a lot of those. We've got a lot of magic items that he's definitely had his hand in.
Sounds good. So, do we want to go to the Article 270? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, let's head to that.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll do that. Okay. All right, so I have it. I believe I do.
Yep, I'm just finding the page here.
Yeah, let me get off this. I can lift that up so that it links to that dragon. I think I have it. 1 second here.
King Grimoires.
I didn't put that in my I didn't put that in my main folder. Give me 1 second here. Page
60.
60. Thank you very much. Dragon.
Yep.
If I ever lose my hard drive, I am in serious trouble.
Backup. Always have backup.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta back up a huge amount of data, but I should do it. So, hey, Bones. All right. So this is what does the Sheen strike back? That's kind of scary. Talking Charlie Sheen there.
Here comes Charlie.
Can you imagine? I've done some dumb things in my, like putting Blade and Whistler in my game, but can you imagine putting Charlie Sheen and Martin Sheen in your game? Sorry if I'm offending someone. All right. Zagyg.
There we are. Right there.
Yeah, Mike. I mean, I have a Dungeon 1 and a Dragon 1. The answer is yes. There is collections of Bones. There is collections of that. Blade is awesome, isn't he? So this is by who wrote this article? Robert Mullen, which I don't know him. Do you know him, Rick?
Yeah, Robert Mullen did actually a lot of the Greyhawk Grimoires back in 2nd edition.
Yeah, remember we did that topic on Greyhawk specific spells, Jay?
Yeah, he did
Robert
a
Mullen
lot
did half
of them.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, I did not know that, Mike. So
yeah.
And that's from multiple articles, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is he involved anywhere in the community? Has he ever been on Cannon Fire?
Never heard of him outside the Dragon.
He was on Cannon Fire a long time ago, but I haven't seen him in a long time. Because I talked to him for a while.
Yeah, that'd be a good guy to have back.
I'll take a look. I'll take a look on Facebook. I'll take a look. If anyone knows a connection, please give it to me. That would be pretty cool.
Moment.
Yep. So, okay. All right. Zagyg, Greyhawk Grimoire, Zagyg's Comedicon. So I think these are kind of a little not serious, right?
They're all funny, silly spells. I mean, they can have some serious effects, but they're mostly just jokes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Especially when we're talking about Zagyg.
Oh God, yeah.
Draw
Actually, I've got
Okay.
a spell for him actually in the Worth Journal as well. We can get to that in a little bit.
Nice.
Cool.
Awesome. By the way, you said you have those magic items of the company of 7. The Darren Shield. If you have any others, man, I think the community would probably love to see them.
Oh, definitely. That Day Iron Shield is. I've got to get a write up for it. It'll probably be. We currently have it in Pathfinder, so it would be written in Pathfinder, and I'd have to try to figure out a way to convert it, or let everybody else figure it out.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. So it says here 576. This was found. Okay. Drummage possessed it, and unlike Ensler, he had difficulties with it. Eventually, he returned it to Sage, who supposedly wasn't particularly glad to get it back. What's it, cursed? Or it's just a... All right, well... So you got Zagyg's Canned Laughter. Wonder if it's like Leomund's Lamental... I can't even say that. Belaborment.
Bellaborm.
Yeah. This fanfare's audible to all creatures within... All right, so... The material components are a banana peel and a rag doll. It's obviously been tarred and feathered. Well, that is really joyous. So this fanfare is audible to all creatures with a normal hearing range, but only the caster's jokes can induce uproar. All right, well there you go. So duration's 1 turn per level. Well, I guess if you're a bad comedian, that's a great joke. That's a great spell to have. Zagyg's Amusing Alteration.
Polymorph.
This spell allows the caster to alter the size of a single facial feature of the selected target creature. All right.
Just because.
Just because. Saving throw versus polymorph. The spell fails and is wasted. If it fails, caster causes the feature to grow 4 times its normal size. Ugh.
Jeez.
And what's the duration? 1 round per level. All right, it's not permanent or anything like that. An enlarged eyeball is not however, its eyeball is enlarged, it's likely it might suffer damage from external force. Well, that is a little disturbing too. All right, so you got to remember, Robert is really pushing Zagyg to the. Oh my God! Look at the third one. Zagyg.
I know. I was already looking at it.
Zagyg's gender shift.
Oh.
Duration is special. Ugh.
Now there's plenty of instances in D&D of gender swapping.
Yeah, there's
swapping, like
girdles there's girdles and all sorts of things. When a spell is cast and subject creature's touch, the victim must make a sexual saving throw versus polymorph to be instantly transformed into a creature of the same race but the opposite sex. This change lets the victim is subjected to a successful dispel magic. Well, that's good because you cannot change back sex from a girdle. A girdle is permanent, and there's no system shock. So, all right. So he's made it so dispel magic, and if it's only a 3rd level spell, you can have a 5th level mage casting that. Wow.
Yep.
Should be casting fireballs.
And there's further in here, he actually lists some of the actual spells.
Yeah. And they're all joke spells, like Otto's Irresistible Dance, Confusion, Tasha's is in here. Wall of Gloom, I know that one.
Emotion.
Enervation. Enervation drains levels temporarily. Fumble.
Descent into Madness.
Eye Bite. That's a nasty spell, actually. Eye Bite.
So it's a bunch of spells to mess with your opponent.
Yes.
Sounds like someone who does not take his enemy seriously and just wants to prolong the fight. Just what a crazy wizard would do.
The only way to ensure the Comedicon does not vanish from its own is to keep within the area. All right. It also says there's a 1% non-cumulative chance for each day that the entire book will simply vanish, only to be replaced with a line slab of equal size and weight as the Comedicon. So it's instantly teleported back in the depths of Greyhawk Castle. So it's going to wait a minute. So that's going to happen when you have it within the first 100 days if it's 1%. So you're not going to have the book for more than 3 months, right?
Okay.
You gotta go get it.
Yeah.
Oh no. My eyes just popped out of my head when it says here, this particular poem apparently refers to Philidor.
Really,
Ultimate
he
number of
mentioned him.
inane verses contained in the book is so mind-boggling. These useful passages. Okay. Not a fan, but that's not just me. Imagine casting a gender change spell in the middle of combat with a hobgoblin or something. It's first off, it's a touch spell, so I can think of in combat better ways to use a touch spell, right? Especially a third level spell. I'm gonna want to do, if you're, so I think it's more of you do it against an enemy or someone you really want to piss off for a temporary amount of time because it's not permanent, so they can get out of it. So a hag, that's a good idea. So there's definitely options to do it on. So very interesting. Definitely one for knowledge there. Okay, so there's 3 spells in here. I think he wrote this kind of as a fun little joke side thing with Zagyg's chaotic neutral wit about him. So these are a little sinister, but not permanent. So interesting. You said you had some other spells too, Rick.
Yes, actually, Oworth Journal 25, I think it was. No, 23.
Who wrote that?
I did.
Well, there we go. I don't want to be flayed anymore.
That was page 21. And I'm actually getting to that one. That was
23 or 25. I'm sorry.
Oworth Journal 23. Getting to it, page 21.
All right, I got that up now too. Let me shorten this a little bit. So,
and it's actually a catalog of spells of the Company of 7.
I like that. Wow, that is cool.
Nice.
Okay.
So you have, I'll just give a very brief overview of the spells in it. You've got Kiatom's Remove Exhaustion, Merlin's Sequestered Sanctuary, Nolzur's Prismatic Peril, Qual's Firewater, which is actually a conversion from an old 1st edition spell.
Okay.
Tasha's Cackling Cacophony, and Zagyg's Random Evolutionary Mutation.
So, Rick, I'm going to ask a question. I know you have these in multiple classes. What was your thought on that? So you got them at Druid 7, Sorcerer Wizard 7 for this spell. What's your thoughts when you're making these?
My thoughts when I'm looking at it is, first off, who would have access to it? Who would Zagyg get a giggle out of giving this spell to?
Okay.
Especially when it comes to, it's like, okay, I know Druids always change form. And so here, how about we just change you into this randomly? It's like, you're a fish. And then like the next round, you're a dog, you're a rhinoceros, you can change it into like all kinds of just goofy stuff.
So you want to give that capability to a Druid possibly, as well, noting because of the changes. Okay. So this, actually, Druid, 12th level Druid in old school is getting this. At 7, they get 7th level spells, but a wizard is 14th, if I recall. Getting 7th level spells.
7th level spells is 14th.
Yeah, 14th. Yep. So you're much higher than a 12th level Druid, and then 12th to 13th takes forever. But all right, so target retains its own alignment, its own hit points. She's having normal hit dice. And how long is that? It lasts 1 round per level.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a negate spell.
Yep. So if they make a fortitude save, they will negate that.
Close range. Caster chooses the forms and the target changes from each round random pattern. That really messes up your day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if they're expecting to like.
Hey, Hops.
All of a sudden they're expecting, it's like, okay, I run up and attack. Not anymore. You're a frog. And all their items, if you read that, they fall to the ground.
Oh.
Well, that's kind of nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really think you did a good job here with because you got another. I mean, we all know Tasha's hideous laughter, and you went the same way. So it says Tasha developed a larger scale version of it under the tutelage of Zagyg. So
Mhm.
is Tasha Lawful good?
Oh God, no. I would say Tasha. Tasha would probably be,
Because
depending on which way you're looking at her. I've always looked at her as a very neutral.
okay, because
But she jumps around a lot.
this is why I ask. Because in expeditions,
Mhm.
the opposite of mirror comes, right? And
Yeah.
I know that you get a lawful good version named Ashta. So if you're just saying before she goes chaotic evil into Igwolf and stuff, she's at best neutral, right?
She's at the
All right.
best is at neutral, but
Okay.
definite chaotic tendencies.
Okay, so then she hasn't fallen into true evil at this point, is what you're saying with this.
Yeah,
All right,
I always saw
that's
that
my
she's,
question. When
know.
does that happen? I don't care. It really doesn't matter to me. With like I said, she's overdone, but as it is. So, yeah, really. But I like it. I like the spell. And we have no. Here's another thing. We have no qual spells at all, do we? We have items, but no spells.
Like I said, he's
Yeah.
a ranger, so
Yeah, and if you look at it, it's a ranger spell that's in there as well.
Yeah, ranger. All right.
Yep. So, and then the Kiatom's remove exhaustion just made perfect sense because they were always, as an adventuring group, they were always on the go. So, trying to get them, to it's like, okay, everybody's exhausted. Okay, not anymore. Make that go away.
Okay. But it's one touch instantaneous. It's one creature, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And exhaustion could go and check the Baba Yaga module, dragon module. I don't think she's in there.
what
No.
BB's talking about is the Dancing Head of Baba Yaga adventure has two of her apprentice daughters in there. One is Natasha the Dark, who later
Right.
becomes Igwilf. Natasha's the evil one. The good one is named Elena the Fair. So there you go.
But doesn't Carlos have 3?
There might be others, yeah.
Carlos has a third
That's the
one.
only two I remember.
Carlos has an adventure out with the third one.
Ooh.
Right? Where Comes the Witching Hour? Is that the right one, everyone out there who knows Carlos lore?
Haven't read that.
Whoops. That was the wrong button here. There you go. I hit Celestian incorrectly. I'm almost positive he has, and I know we're going off on a good tangent.
Natasha. Roger Moore adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
So, in my headcanon, the chronology is Natasha is trained by Baba Yaga, dumped off on Orth, becomes Tasha, and then goes from there. So she's, if whatever her alignment is with Zagyg is probably a put on, she's acting.
So, question for you. That's good. All right. So that's a good point.
Okay.
That connection. Rick, nozzles with the marvelous pigments.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I almost slipped, and this is where my brain. I'm all over the place tonight. I apologize, everyone. All right. I thought Paints of Blackmore was nozzles. It's not, but it could be your own classes. One of the a very difficult magic item to even use in your campaign. I gave out to one character, and I won't again. But he played it pretty well. But this prismatic peril nozzle was a mage.
Yeah, I've always seen him as like a wizard. In a lot of ways, like an alchemist in some ways too. So definite build into having alchemy.
Okay. So it says here, spell causes a shimmering multicolored claw between you and the opponent, and the claw. Anyone struck by the claw gets a prismatic spray. So I'm assuming you wrote this. You wrote the orb too, didn't you?
I wrote the orb too. Yep.
Because the orb,
Molzer's orb too.
the orb, you can actually you can actually throw the paint into a prismatic spray. See,
Yep.
I read. There you go.
Which made sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone note, I did not get the order. The order confiscated that. They did not give it. Venarian Ford's not running around with that. Okay, just note that, so we don't have that. There you go. Thank you. I thought it was Witch Queen's Lament, Michael. Thank you very much. Definitely a cool thing there. I was not 100% sure. So I made a Vector Mini that like started on Inglewood, but I'm not really comfortable right now. Listen, I'm Inglewood out in my campaign. I'm right. I'm done. I'm Inglewood out. I'm I'm not even vampire Thrumbled out, Anna, because I know it's all in love. So
okay, yeah,
but
he's definitely Igwell.
I haven't even started with Igwell yet. I'm working my way up to Igwell, and I can see a segue from my current campaign into Igwell in the future. So yeah, part 2 of my campaign, but part 3 will go in there.
So okay, Rick, give us something else. Give us something else so we're not hanging here.
Okay, let's see what I can find here, because I had a couple things in the file I was looking through, but I'm trying to not step on any. It's not. Yeah, that's where I was going. Is magic items here? I just opened the file up.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Justinius, he has equal his Parentland campaign.
I'm sure everybody is very familiar with the Talisman of Zagyg.
Is that no? I'm thinking Talisman of the Sphere.
I think I've heard of it. Maybe
Zagy.
Correct.
The G.
Yep. That's a item that gives wishes of a sort.
Hey, Josh.
That one's actually been linked in a lot of ways to Zagyg. At least I've always seen.
Where's it posted? I mean, is it yours?
Dragon. No, actually, that's an old Dragon magazine. Not Dragon magazine. Dungeon Master Guide item.
Oh, it's an artifact.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's one of the artifacts in the original Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yep.
But that's IG, right?
I think it's Zagy, or
is it? Okay.
Mike had just said I just missed it.
All right. And you hear of course you hear vampires, you come and running. Of course. So we do have some really cool announcements tonight. Hopefully I'll get to them. All right. So well,
that's I've got a couple more items here as well.
Go for it,
please.
From the Falcon series was the Opal of Olfactory Illusion.
Don't remember that.
Which one? First, second, or third one?
I can't recall offhand. I know it's on my magic item compendium. That's what I've got up right now.
So it's fake sense, illusionary sense.
Allows you to create illusory odors.
See, I like that.
So similar to you could create them like a stinking cloud, but they're illusions. It's just a gem that you can make illusions with. It's an opal that was plundered from the Mad Archmage's castle, discovered by a thief, offered for sale by its executor. Last known owner of the opal was the Falcon.
I've said this multiple times. Those 3 adventures were kind of like, I don't even remember them. I ran them, but I don't even remember what happened in it. All I know is the circle dies again, just like in every major adventure in that time frame, right? Vecna lives, destroys the circle. The Falcon destroys the circle, it's just too many times. So our second fundraiser, we did a Falcon series, and what did that teach me? It taught me never to try and link eight streams into one storyline, or whatever we had, 5 or 6 streams into one storyline. Man, that was tough. Hey, Taryn, good to see you.
Here's another one from the old Unearthed Arcana first edition hardback, was Zaggy's Zagyg's Flowing Flagon.
Now that one I've heard of.
Yep.
Unearthed Arcana.
Yep, Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah, that's a good one. I can bring up. Give me a sec.
Yep. And I think there's another one in the same ilk on the same thing. Zagyg's Spell Component case is in the same one.
Absolutely. I don't remember any in...
That book is so good for name to match films.
Yep. I've actually used the Spell Component case, and as well as the Black Ones version, which I actually didn't write that one up. I actually just converted it. That's also from Veil of the Mage. It's very similar in the effect that they both have spell component cases.
Oh, cool. Cool, Taryn. So we're going to go to magic items here. I'll scroll through. Miscellaneous. I know I'm going to pass right by it. There we go. So they're right here, both on page 104. So the Zagyg's Flowing Flagon is kind of like what's that? An alchemy jug almost, but it has there's a toast phrase, and each time thereafter the flagon is drained, it refills itself with a better tasting liquid. Weak wine to alcohol, port-like liquor, and then it gets to a brandy of 80% alcohol. I mean, it just gets, it is meant to get you bombed. So it's a bartender with not your best interest at heart there. So it's kind of a neat item. Hey, Morpheus, good to see you, and Goblin of Gaxon, or
you
what a
would
great
think that would be an Ola Damara item.
I think it's because Zagyg would think it was hilarious to do that. Like,
yeah.
have fun with this drink. First, we're going to start you off with Pabst.
Yeah, we're gonna start you off with peels.
Yeah.
Or and then we're gonna work your way up to something like that's grain alcohol. So it's pretty crazy. That is nutty. But that's the great thing about Zagyg. And then this one's good though. This is spell component case.
I've actually got that. I know I've got a character too that's got one of those.
Yes, because these aren't unique items. Remember, in Arcana, I don't think they're meant to be unique. They're multiples of them.
Not unless they're artifacts, but yeah.
So if these components are not usable and run out after they peel, they immediately disappear. So you got to pull these out. And the die roll is the type of case, right?
Yes, it's how many usages per day is the die roll.
Yeah. I think I had someone with 3 or 4. I can't remember. But I know I have one of them in the campaign, and that's it. And it's kind of a cool thing, because a lot of people hate spell components, and it's an assumed thing in a lot of campaigns, especially mine it is, unless it's something crazy on a crazy spell, really powerful spell. But this solves that issue. There's another one too, not the rubber useful items, but there's another spell. There's another one. Gosh, I forget the name of it. It's not.
They had a belt as well.
That's
at one
it.
point.
That's it. It's in here too, I believe. The belt's in here too.
Yeah. There was a belt that held a whole bunch of fun items. Belt with many pouches or something as well.
Yeah, I think it's in here right here. Belt.
So while you're in that book as well, there's also the Prison of Zagyg out of that book.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing, according to the God Trap.
It is, and also it appears for some bizarre reason in Shokanth. There's nothing in it.
Yeah,
right.
Which would probably tell you that Igwilf had one.
I think that
because
would, yeah.
I think she was involved in the making of them. In fact,
Yep.
it's been my opinion that it wasn't just Zagyg who actually made the God Trap. I think it was the God Trap was an apotheosis for all of the Company of Seven to try to achieve
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Quasi-
interesting. Yeah,
quasi deity status.
that's kind of
They
cool.
all went at
Yeah.
the same time. Okay.
So they could all take advantage of that because
Mhm.
Heward became a quasi deity.
That's
So did
true.
Merlin.
Yeah.
I think all of them were involved in it, in the making of it.
That I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that idea. Yep.
I'm just thinking.
Okay.
They're all quasi deities.
Or at least a bunch of them.
Merlin,
Yeah.
Not
Heward,
Tom.
Nulzer.
Nalzer never really listed anywhere, so more than likely, especially with the status that he's been grabbed up in fifth.
And we really don't know how Tasha got
Yeah,
such a long life.
Well, there's assumptions made that with Grazitz, right? I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now, you know, with Igwilv and Tasha. But so it's called a Prison of Zagyg, right?
Mhm.
And I know there's a fairy in it in Expeditions that you free. Sorry for
I believe so.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah. It has some kind of that because you have the I don't know if she's a succubus or just a demoness. What's her name? Lashed. Oh my gosh, Lavashti is Lavashti's in here with working with the this oh my gosh, simulacrum of Igwolf that has trying to get Saints as vain as, you know, kind of designed her and kind of messed up because he does all the time. But so there are the two adventures I've seen it in, and I always thought it's just a treasure item in Shokanth, which was a little strange.
it's the item. It's the item that Igwilv got the idea to capture Grazit with.
I'm sorry. I just got so distracted by the Rich post saying the leader of the Company 7 is also unnamed. Until now, it was unknown, but it's Lord Brezen, who became a deity
geez.
through God Trap. Well, that
Oh,
lightened up things a little bit. Hey, Tino, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
18.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was
So,
good.
That's a major retcon.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was funny. So, all right.
Jeez.
So some things that I found from these articles by Malden, right? That I liked. That I just dropped the papers all over the floor. Jeez, Jay. It's in my mind. It's in my mind today. And note that he has Clerkburg, and I want you to see that, okay? And note that for later on. There is the arena and the
Yep.
wall going into the garden and high quarter on the other side. Just note that, and the waterway, which the waterway goes right under the wall. A lot of people don't know it goes. So it's got to be a weak spot in the wall there, Mike. Right?
There's a
Probably
Seekers.
great.
The Seekers Lodge is actually in that same area too. It's down to the lower.
I'm looking on his notes and I don't see. It's in
It wasn't-
Clerkburg or it's in the Artisan Quarter.
For Seekers Lodge, it's in Clerkburg. It isn't originally in that article.
Oh, okay.
We put it in. I talked to Malden about it, and I asked him where would the Seekers Lodge be, and I said, "Is this building
Good
work
point,
right
Rich.
here?" And he said, "Yeah, that makes sense." So we put that into Oerth Journal, and we updated a little corner of the map.
Is it along the wall or where is it?
Let me see if I can actually find it here very quickly.
I'm interested to know where it is in Clerkburg. So I know I highlighted this stuff. All right.
The arena.
Yeah, this is interesting information here. So Clerk. All right. More than any other. This is by Eric Mona with the map by Dennis. So it says more than any other quarter in the city of Greyhawk, Clerkburg benefited from the dynamism of Zagyg Gagarini's tenure as Lord Mayor. Zagyg purchased the land that would become Clerkburg from the famous Lord Truon Jalavai in 342 CY. That's much later.
It's new to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so he bequeathed the manor house of the half-elven hero to a cadre of influential scholars, ordering the pendants to found the Grey College. So that is interesting. Times don't match, but we can't discuss. We won't talk about that. A school that would not only educate the young adults of Greyhawk. Yeah. So also he has here, the forceful Lord Mayor encouraged many local nobles to combine their private libraries and scroll collections into a single concentration of knowledge that will one day become the Great Library of Greyhawk.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is my favorite one here. It also says he enlisted the finest architects and masons in the region to restore and expand the partially ruined Colosseum not far from Grey College. So it sounds like that it was a Colosseum in ruins, originally built during the reign of Ponges the Bull.
Ooh, I do
Okay.
recall that.
To satiate the legendary Iridian lust for blood sport.
There you go.
Mhm.
Okay? He widened the streets and planted trees, ensuring the quarter would boast both man-made and natural beauty. Okay, so there you go. Some backgrounds.
Built that city.
Yep. Also says here, Zagyg sent word across the Flanders, tempting and sometimes outright bribing scores of scholars to come to Greyhawk, and found schools of their own. Within a century, Greyhawk would rival Relmord as the continent's center of learning. All right.
He definitely pushed the education. Yep.
Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, yes. And the Kumite is back. Yes.
So I've read that he also was instrumental in the sewer system and the legal code, and started the Disportium of Magic holiday.
Very cool.
I mean, it's
Okay. Oath Journal 25, page 26 is where that Seeker's Lodge is at.
Okay, let me take a look.
Okay.
It's got Malden's map on there, and
This is going to be good then. Hold on one second. Let me go to that. That'll be awesome. Awesome. Earth Journal 25. I have it right here. The Tarask edition one.
Yep.
Nice. All right, got it. So we're bouncing around, everyone.
Hey, this is how
Whoops.
this is how you get lore.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, I hit two wrong buttons. Sorry.
Especially in Greyhawk.
I'm wrong buttoning it way tonight, man. As you can see. Hold on. Switch, you damn thing. It's stuck.
And give it a second.
There we go. It was locked. My apologies. I hit the button too many times. I'm sorry. What page?
That was page 26.
Ah. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Right there. Wow. All right. I have to print this. I have to remember to print this. In fact.
Yep, that's
I want to show you something. Current page.
ooh,
I want to show you. I want to print that.
yeah.
I've never printed during a live stream. Hopefully I don't crash it.
Yeah.
All right. Here is the irony of ironies. Let's go to this. Okay.
and right there, that was
Right.
that Malden's map,
Yes. So if
and
go ahead, continue.
that was, I had asked him specifically if I could use that location. He said yes, that's a great location for a Seeker's Lodge.
Of course, it says now I'm out of paper, but I'm not. I got a full freaking boatload of paper in here. There it goes. All right. So this is my setup for tomorrow night with the
Hey,
arena.
Skarshack.
Good to see you. The arena and everything. Now we're gonna. Here's the road running along the wall back here. All right. This is funny there, here, Rick. Go here. This double building right here is that building right here. I thought it was a residence. Look, so because I did not have it, there's nothing noted on there on C27. That's C27 on the map right there. So I'm gonna have to change that. I have to change that to probably a different building and move some of the stuff now with. So that's pretty interesting. Very, very cool. Because you have all sorts of other buildings in this area. You have Derrida Fashion's house is here.
Mhm.
A player character of ours, I didn't name him, Alphonse D'Amato. Yes, if anyone from New York. And then this one you can't see is Salen's building here, which you got a lot of other stuff. That's really cool. I was like, wow, I have it turns out it's not an unnamed residence anymore. It's C27. Neat.
Yep. I actually
awesome.
put that in there.
Hey, bro.
Ironically, I did not add this in the original article on Malekith, but he is actually one of the Seekers. Malekith's last name is Uragiran. He's related distantly, but he's still related to that family.
Okay.
If you look in the page 27,
yeah,
go over a page over.
Derek Malekith.
Yep. In return, the Seekers grant Malekith access to their libraries in the Free City. He's taken up visiting the Free City Seeker Lodge, offering spellcasting services and free sage advice to any Seekers on their way to the ruins of the city ruins of the Castle Greyhawk, in exchange for any notes, spell books, or any lore regarding the late Zagyg Uragiran.
A notation. All right.
And Malden is right above that.
Yes. This is why I hate 3rd edition. Sorry, Casey, if you're wrong. Wizard 10, Eldritch Knight 9, Archmage 2, Human Rogue 2, Fighter 1. Oh my gosh, my head's about to explode.
Can I make you laugh?
Yes, please.
That was at Malden's suggestion.
I'll get him on Sunday. I thought he was beyond that. Oh my gosh.
I asked him, he's like, oh, he's got all these levels. And I'm like, oh my God.
It's
2 classes, Dale. This he's got 7 classes.
Yeah.
2, 3, 5. I'm sorry.
If you're 7th level, you can take 1 in each. So yeah.
Dale, I'm just busting stones, man. It doesn't matter what edition you play.
It's all good.
Look, Casey's saying Malekith's build sucks. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, man.
Not a good build.
That is
That's
funny.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh my
Well,
God.
actually, that was actually because he started Archmage really late, mostly because I didn't get the actual books and stuff until late.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to blow him out of proportion. So, and his...
It's all good, man. I mean, when you're making NPCs up, you're not maximizing their builds, right? You're not.
Depends.
Well, I mean, he's 20.
My newest conversion of him, he's 20th level.
All right, yeah,
at this point.
20 to 21st level. Does it matter at that point?
Not really.
No.
He's 20th level. If I convert him to 5th edition, he's 20th level.
Right.
Once you can cast 9 normal spells, it's over.
So
yeah,
I'm not patting myself on the back here, everyone. Trivia question. How many characters in my game, PCs, have made it to 20th level in 42 years?
I think.
Zippity doo 0. 0. 0. I have one that's 18th, and that was a straight halfling thief. None. Yes, there you go. Yep. But then again, we have so many different groups, so it's all good. I love this. I love this that you did this. And I'm really happy that you shared that, because look, these are noted. All the dots are noted locations that are in. So I have a conflict here. Actually, this is a boarding house. I got to talk to Miles about it, but I have this is Alphonse's home and stuff, and right here Salen's. This home here is the Fellowship of the Torches home, which is not listed where it is, and I put it right there as well. So we got a lot of cool things going on in this area of the map. No, Rich. You go up to 7th level fighter, and then you go dual class up to 8th level thief. You're only 8th level, and you start up the bar back up at first. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody would be interested, but to keep the family line having a little bit of madness in it, I kept Malekith to have a little bit of madness to him. However, his particular quirk, I wanted to do something really special because I had a lot of people that I worked around, and I've dealt with a lot of people on the autistic scale. Malekith is our first character in Greyhawk who has Asperger's.
Oh, that's cool.
All right.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
He super focuses on certain things, but he will walk through dungeons with a spell book in front of his face.
Sounds like my son.
He's
He's
a fun character. He's really a fun character. I started him out as a player character. He eventually became a NPC in my games. And actually, Mike will remember, he was actually in Death Ann's games as well.
Nice.
If you remember Randy Patton, it was in his games. He actually borrowed Malekith for a couple adventures as an NPC because he just found him an interesting character. Essentially, yes, Asperger's is very much high-functioning autism, but we really haven't had much awareness into autistic characters in a lot of games because we focused on, in a lot of games, and especially D&D, that the characters are very physical and everything they do. There's a lot of physical-based characters, so having a character who has something like that makes them unique, interesting.
It's nice to have a built-in quirk like that. It's cool. I mean, neat.
So, but that character, I originally made that character probably in the 90s, and I have retired him to NPC probably as much as about 5 years ago.
All right, cool.
So
hey, 3rd edition it is what it is. Everyone has their own editions. They love and play whatever edition you want in Greyhawk. It doesn't matter. I'm just busting. Well, I really appreciate you sharing this with me. It's good. It's good information. And now we got another location set, and maybe we'll see that on Sunday. So it's a possibility.
That character in there, Malekith, actually is the original character to have the Robe of the Mad Archmage from Dragon Magazine 359. That was the first character who had it.
Oh, okay.
It's actually written up in the history of the item, but we had to cut it out of Dragon. We had to cut out who had it at the time because they're just like, okay, you guys are over at your words. So the only reason that Malekith isn't 100% canon, he'd be more Apocrypha at this point, is because we just had to cut a lot of the characters out. In fact, the entire Seekers article that you're looking at there was supposed to be in Dragon Magazine that Gary and I wrote.
Wow.
Gary and I wrote that.
There's a spell that I'm thinking of. Malekith's flame breathing fire. Is that his, or is that someone different?
That's a different Malekith. This one that was Malekith.
Okay.
This one's just straight Malekith.
Okay, Malek with a C, then Keth, and that's Forgotten Realms character.
Yeah, I believe it's Forgotten Realms character.
All right, so I'm not crazy. I'm not. I was thinking.
I'll get you a Malekith spell later on that you will probably love. It's called Malekith's Telekinetic Implosion. Take a fireball and reverse it into an implosion.
I like that.
His spells are nasty.
Very cool. All right, let me see if I can find the right article. Here we go to this. All right, I'm going to go back to this. What page are we on? 70? I'm just going through too fast.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. We talked about this when you were on last time. But let's find that item here.
Yep, it's going to be towards the tail end of the article. I have one of those weird, like, picturesque eidetic memories when it comes to certain things. Right there, you just passed it.
There it
Go
is.
up.
That's it.
Easy to miss.
Right there. Would you see that little
Yeah.
cloak-looking thing?
Yeah,
It's right up
I
in there.
wanted to describe it here. Robe of the White Archmage. So it was in possession of the Grey Savant.
Yep. Yep. I actually wrote up the whole history. We had to cut out the part on Malekith, just like I said, because it was going to take up too much space.
Darn.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's an Apocrypha character. I do have him up on the Greyhawk Online's wiki. That character is up on that wiki if you want to look up anything on him.
Okay. Was there are no stats beside the stats were not considered published source, correct? It was retconned. His stats.
Yeah. His character stats, you mean?
Yes. Yes.
Those I kept his character stats. I have character stats for him in 3rd edition and 5th edition. So you can kind of speculate in between what you would want for a 1st or 2nd edition game.
Okay.
But he has obtained and actually made several tomes to increase his intelligence.
So it says a personality conflict occurs anytime you attempt to remove the rope to don another magical garment. So it's kind of good and bad.
Yeah. So there's, you know, it's an artifact, but it's an intelligent artifact. It's a fun item because it has that whole duality going on to it.
I said this is a fantastic article you guys put together. Like I said, I loved it so much. I especially love that. I mean, it was just so cool, and the hat too. You know, what's better than having a cowboy hat in your D&D game? And I think Bones' character got it, if I recall. She got it, right? I'm almost positive. So, cool. Check this out. It's Dragon 359. This is the last published Dragon, isn't it?
It is. That was the last one they actually made a physical copy of.
Yeah.
They did a couple issues past that in digital, but there's nothing like this out there anymore now. They don't do this type of stuff anymore.
All right. So what's your Garanese signet?
Your Ragnar signet?
Yeah.
That one was just a fun little item right there. That was one of them that Gary and I kind of went back and forth with, but that one was mostly Gary's to come up with. He really wanted to write up the story on that one. Okay. So in respect to him, since you know we didn't get to talk about his article much earlier.
Sounds good.
I'd prefer if he were here to speak about that because I've already stepped on a foot and I don't want to do it anymore.
Got it.
So.
Yep. Sounds good.
So if you'd like to come on and say something else, if he's still in the crowd,
yeah, we're past that point at this time.
So
it's appreciated, but so thank you for the follow there. What would you have liked to have seen, Rick, from about Zagyg that wasn't done?
Honestly, I'd really like to have seen more interesting adventures, more things about his past. To be very honest, right now, Wizards of the Coast is really milking Tasha, Igwilf, and Mordenkainen. They're passing up so much on Zagyg at this point. There's so much that they could add to that.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I think the humoristic side, he's not just a mad archmage, he's kind of like this goofy archmage, I guess. And I think a new audience would love that. A whimsical wizard. Yeah. They just don't know about it.
Yeah. Well, they already have it to a degree a little bit. If you really think about it, I see a lot of kind of correlations here. if you really look at, I'm sure people are very familiar with Dragonlance, Fizbin. Fizbin
Right.
and Zagyg have a lot of similarities.
Isn't
Um,
Fizbin's Bahamut though, isn't it?
Yeah, but he does funny little things
Okay.
that he just
But isn't he like
just shows up.
absent-minded or something?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
absent-minded. He comes in there. She's like, "Oh, I've got the perfect spell for this. Oh, what's that? Fireball." The rest of the party's like, "No."
Paladin, that's it. I'm sorry.
Yep, Paladin.
Yeah.
Yep.
So everyone knows that they just announced a
Paladin.
Dragonlance book, right? Okay. So
Yeah.
it's fine. Go ahead, Mike.
The Unearthed Arcana article or a full-on book,
The Alteration article.
which implies a book later down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Which applies. I know. Hey, personally, I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, it's
not a bad thing that they're doing.
Hey.
They're working with the Hickmans. That's good. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Keep it going there. Yeah.
keep it going. Weiss's books helped us really bring the
Absolutely.
help bring things out in the late 80s and
make Kender socially acceptable. I'm trying. Yeah, I'm keeping my best spin on it. Let's just say. So
We'll see.
Yep. We'll see.
Yep. Well, that's good. So Anna, Mike, any thoughts on
I just love all the cool spells, and this has been kind of a very quick like roadshow over to spells and God knows what Zagyg, but I love it. It's so many cool things. I'm taking notes and kind of pointing down things so I can go back to reading this. All these stuff.
If you do want that website again, if anybody wants, it's further up in the stream.
Yeah, you should post it again because it's such an awesome resource. So you
Let me
should
see if
definitely.
I can put it back up here.
Yeah,
good. There we go. There's more to the page than just the Greyhawk Archives, but the Greyhawk Archives has a ton of everything. A lot of the stuff we've been talking about is in here.
That's awesome.
The articles on Clerkberg are in here. They're on that page.
Beautiful.
Please make note. It does say at the top for anyone who has questions or problems with it. These pages are intended for your references purposes only. So there's a lot of stuff that has been, I'm going to be taking stuff that used to be up on the old Wizards of the Coast page that is now considered lost because that pages are gone. I saved that stuff. It's going to be coming up on this page. That's why that is on the top. These are for people's reference purposes only, so this information is not lost.
We appreciate that. You know, always having that knowledge saved somewhere is a huge thing. You know, we really do appreciate it.
And that article that Gary wrote is actually on here in PDF, or if you want to read it on your computer, it's also on an HTML version on here that you can read. You know, but I will say this very much, that if it wasn't for Gary's article, and if you're still in the audience, Gary, I'm going to tell you this. If it wasn't for your article, you would not have the Greyhawk fans that we have today. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
It's a lot of great contributions over the last, 30 years, you know, going way back, you know, keeping the things rolling. And let's hope that, you know, it continues with all the publications, the bloggers, everyone that's making their contributions now in the future. And that's the key. As long as the community continues to grow and get stronger, maybe we'll get the site on us that we've attempted to get in the last year, basically. But you know, I'm working that end still. That's all I'll say about that, because I don't want to go even more negative tonight, right? Yeah. All right. So some final thoughts, because I imagine announcements may take a little bit here. So Rick, thanks for getting us through this. I really, I do appreciate us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know, getting us through this.
I've been listening here. Yep.
Yeah.
This has been
Quite welcome.
ton
And
of-
Mike, you got to get your Zagyg comics posted on here.
Yes.
That's a whole another thing. Yeah.
Post a link or something for somebody or something. Just your comics always made me laugh. It's just your insight.
Yeah, let me see here. All right.
Well,
so-
Gary, it's Gary Julian. He is one of the authors of Living.
no,
Greyhawk Gazetteer
Curtis
from
is making a
2000.
joke, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's
Yeah.
Curtis. He's making it. Yeah, he's making a joke.
Sorry.
Well,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he's making a joke, everyone.
Eh,
There you go.
There-
Yes,
That's-
yes.
there you go. There you go, Mike. You need to get some credit too, because your comics, they were some fun stuff.
Yep.
When I was having
Well-
some tough nights, and I'd go look up one of your comics and just like,
Yeah.
okay, I could write some more Greyhawk
Someone
stuff
had
now.
I kind of like to think of myself as the Zagyg of our Grey Talk nights, cracking jokes and poking fun.
Hey, we all need a good joke every once in a while.
Yep. hmm
Yes, his parents, Curtis. Yes. Who's this Gary person? Yes.
By the way, Jay, Gary, we can revisit this, have Gary on again, because I have 2 pages of Zagyg notes haven't even touched.
Yeah, hopefully we can do that. So we'll see.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff on, the Trapped Gods, Ring of Five, a lot of Greyhawk Ruins, deep dive
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah.
Haven't even touched.
I kind of skipped past that too once he
So
kind
I'm
of
just saying.
We'll
was a little sour. I just said nope. I just said skip back. We'll catch up with him later.
we'll talk. Yeah, we can talk about
and
that.
there's demi-planes. There's a lot of topics
Oh,
on
God,
Zagyg
yeah.
to go.
Zagyg was big on demi planes.
Lots of stuff to discuss. As always, there's
Yeah.
always lore and there's always topics to revisit, and that's the great thing.
Isn't that
You know,
RPG?
there's the idea, Mike. You have the idea. How about a deep dive on Greyhawk ruins, especially
Yeah.
especially
Rereading
regarding the
Greyhawk
God
Ruins
Trap.
today,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
especially regarding the God Trap might be a
and the
good
God
idea.
Trap, ultimately, yeah.
Yeah,
Because what was really eye-opening was what he used the God Trap for in Greyhawk Ruins, as opposed to, I think, what he used the God Trap for in Expedition.
yeah.
Don't think it's necessarily the same, or maybe both. Maybe it's both. I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get, I mean, in expeditions, you get a bunch of gods being released, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat.
It's more streamlined. It's definitely more coherent,
Logical.
logical. Yeah. But hey, it's no joke, Castle Greyhawk, though.
No, and Castle
No,
Greyhawk
it's-
is.
one module of it is.
Well, just one.
Yeah, we're not even
Yep.
talking about that one. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Once again, I don't want to go down that dark path.
No,
So-
we don't. Yeah.
Here
Yeah,
comes-
Blue
Here's
Box.
here comes Blue Box.
Yeah, Blue Box had a really cool game tonight. Welcome, everyone. Good to see you. We're finishing up here, which is cool.
Just in time to get in the drawing.
I know John is out of town. I know you had whose monster is it, which is cool. I'm glad to see you all on. Thank you so very much. Hang out for a little bit. We'll be doing one giveaway tonight. Get your choice of one of 4 modules, which is cool. Or the Greyhawk Adventures that begins if you are new to the community and really want to delve in. So there's some good ones here. There's a Lenart one. There's a Shokanth, which is one of my favorites. Gets called the Reptile God, and the adventure begins. So I'll allow you to choose from that. So, well, living and winning is good, Patros, and it's nice to see you tonight. So, we're gonna do. We're rolling up, finishing up here. So, give us what's going on in the world of Mike. What do you got going? You got anything cranking up tonight?
What's going on in the world of Mike?
Yes.
Well, if you head over to Greyhawkery, you will see a post I made.
Oh, I think.
But all it is a me saying, "See you at GaryCon." So enjoy. Otherwise, just gaming.
There
as
it is.
usual.
You do have it. Hey, It counts, right? You did it yesterday.
Yeah, that's 2 posts this year. 2 posts in 3 months. Not bad.
Nice. Very cool. Very, very cool. So, you three of us, need to figure out what the topic's going to be for Gary Con.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Mhm.
Oh man. We
I
gotta-
don't want to do a
We have
PowerPoint.
next-
No
we have next-
PowerPoint.
Yeah, we
Ian,
have
are you
next
gonna have a
week.
map with you?
I have a
Remember-
map with me, yes, but it's
remember that big map
in
drawback?
60 pieces.
You're going to have all those people that have actually played in Greyhawk that are going to be at that convention.
I'm just wondering,
Rogues
it's like, can you get a
Gallery.
map and start using the pointer, you know?
Well, the problem is that hopefully we will have a projector that we can do that, so that we can.
I don't
Okay.
think I don't think there's going to be a projector in that room.
Okay, then or
Oh.
TV, but okay, then we just have people have to use their phones or whatever and go to
Okay.
post the link.
We're
yeah.
gonna have to. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna ask,
Okay.
but I'll.
Yeah.
You know what?
Have to have
A
something.
TV or
I'm
or
summoning
projector.
Josh. Josh, you there?
Exactly. He needs to
all
fix
right,
this.
I will-
I'll
I-
pound him hard on that on the way.
That didn't sound good, Anna. That sounded really, really raunchy.
That's a no-no.
That was
it's
awesome.
It's just humor.
I'll
It's just
that was
humor.
funny. Made my night. So.
Sorry. Yeah.
We should
Uh,
definitely go heavy on QA, but that's my.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's talk to Josh about that.
Yeah.
We got to figure that out. I know we're
Yeah.
in the
we
the
have
WotC
one-
founder Atkinson's old room. He always did
Mhm.
stuff in.
Yeah.
Twice, yeah, for both of ours.
We have
so,
one next week too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Is there? Yeah, we do have one next week too. We got to.
Mhm.
We'll figure that
Yep.
out. So
That's why I'm not going to tell what I'm going to talk about on the at the convention yet. We have 1 week more for that.
yes, we do. One
Yep.
week in between.
Mhm.
Anna, what's going on with you?
Gary Con prep and
Let me check.
also the Atlas work, and I can say that the final version of the Flanny's Hepmona land map of 2022 is coming very, very, very soon. I'm just going to export it out and it's going to be ready. So that one is done, and I've done of the Atlas. I've done in the 80s now, so I have like 15 or so map pages to do, so that one is coming soon too, or at least all the map pages. I will compile it together when I have the index, and we'll see if we can get that done before GaryCon. That is, we'll see. Yeah, that it's a possibility, maybe not. And I'm also going to then as soon as I got the map published, I will also work on getting the hexed version out, and that is some days.
Nice.
I'm not sure if that will be, but I think I will prioritize getting the hex map done before GaryCon and not get Atlas done, because I don't think there was enough time to get the index done before. So the map will come out and the hexed version of the map will come out. Those will be the priorities, and there's still, what is it, like 9 days or 8 days or something like that, to 9 days before I leave. So and then there are some days too, but I will leave on the 19th, so that way I'm leaving early, so that way I will be a couple of days before the convention, that I'm not going to be sitting at my desktop.
Okay.
And there's more heraldry coming for my all my patrons will get one more heraldry post coming out this week. And then I will also post some more on future projects and updates for my top tier patrons before I leave for GaryCon. There will be a little list of other secrets projects and stuff that I'm working on that I'm going to talk about. So that was but I'm going to give it more tidbits next week. So yeah. So
Awesome.
I'm giving it to my patrons. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Rick. Thanks for getting us through this. How?
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you got going on, man?
Well, I've been working on the webpage. I'm sure everybody was taking a peek at that at some point. I'm trying to put up the Greyhawk Archives, just a whole bunch of files that, like I said, that I think some of them have been lost to time, files that, that people just don't have access to, like the Living Greyhawk Journal stuff. But they're for reference purposes only. Please, just if you need a reference, I'm more than happy to let you use them as a reference. Just don't go crazy. I'm finishing up the Veil of the Mage. I've got 2 of the art pieces approved. The rest of them I'm still waiting on, and I'm still doing the last bits of revision and proofreading on Veil of the Mage. This will be a complete upgrade from what I had in the Oath Journal previously. And Christoph has already said that he's interested in getting that into the Oath Journal for a full update on that. Mage Point, I'm still working on that. The article is going pretty good. I've got 5 of the 7 districts of the actual town completed. When you go to read into this, you're actually going to have a full, complete, what the building looks like before you even go in, what the NPCs are. So you'll have a full backdrop if you ever decide to do Age of Worms, or if you're just trying to go towards Tensor's Castle, you'll have a quick backdrop for that area. Antaria, I'm trying to go through the revisions of that I had from 2003, update the map and get that completed, but I need to get past Veil of the Mage and Mage Point before I get to that. And Jay, you and Anna and Mike, you already know about the Greyhawk City primer that I had up on my Google Docs.
Yep.
That's up right now. I'll get, once I get the other projects done, I'll start opening that one back up, but I want people to kind of look over it first. So we kind of make it more of a group project that everybody can just go, okay, you're missing this, this has been changed, blah, blah, blah. Beyond that, one of the projects that I've been seriously thinking about is a complete run of the levels of a character, say like Mordenkainen in 576, what were his levels? So, and just kind of give a level breakdown of the year. So we'll just say like 585, okay, Mordenkainen is 20th level. 591, Mordenkainen is above 20th level, but we're not going to distinctify that. You figure it out yourself. But we give you an idea about, I get an idea about what levels a character would be that are major NPCs only, and then maybe open it up to the community and put it up on Google Docs, and we all just add in character levels and everything like that.
Cool. Well, you do a lot, man, and it's really appreciated. A lot of stuff, a lot of data.
Yep.
How you doing? Good to see you, Dwayne. All right, let me get through this. What is going on the rest of this week? Gonna hit the right button. Yeah. Tomorrow night, they're a great company. Trouble at the Free City Arena. I had that arena, and I figured I'm going to use it. Perfect timing. Got the Clerkberg. You've probably seen the posts. This is the penultimate piece of crafting we have by Bill and Master Crafter. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. The thing is, so I'm gonna utilize it, and we're gonna do some campaigning in the Free City, tying in with my long-term plot line with the diver's son of Theoden, the Beggar King, is coming back for some revenge. He's been in divers all these years. Yes, lovely stuff. So we'll see if that fills in a little bit into the what we're gonna do on tomorrow night. And you got some nice things in here, some nice work. It'll be a fun game, and that'll be tomorrow night. All right, and then let me see what else we got here. Here we go. So I've said Sunday night. There's only 3 streams this week. No specials this week. And no specials coming up before after GaryCon. I want to except for Tim. We got Tim a week from Saturday in the morning. How could I forget that? So I said, what do we have going on Sunday? So it says, and a special secret guest. So here are 2 things. Here we go. We're going to know. Rick Rose, Malden, and Eric Mona will be on. Okay.
Ooh.
All right. And I had nothing to do with it. So to be honest, Dennis got him.
That is what a lineup. That is fantastic.
So yes, to discuss the Free City of Greyhawk, we'll go over Rick's, we'll go over Malden's, and Dennis will show an updated map.
Ooh.
of Free City of Greyhawk
Whoa.
on Sunday night.
It is awesome. I've
That-
seen it.
Okay, and that's why I have a feeling that your C27 will be on that map there, because it'll be an updated Malden map. Now, I am blessed enough to have this hidden away, right? So I have the Malden map after 3 years, and some community was kind enough to make a deal with me. So I do have the Malden map, but we will see an updated version of this on Thursday.
Actually,
Thank you.
it's actually up on my wall right now, right above me. That map you just showed.
Yep.
It's right above me, right up there.
And all the adventures I try and do now, I attempt to utilize the Malden map over the old map from the Free City Greyhawk box set. It's so much better. So yeah, I look forward to this. Will finish out the Greyhawk week. Free City Greyhawk week we have going on. All right, and that'll be this week. We don't have a topic yet for Legends Lore. Next week we'll work on that. The last one before GaryCon. Just note, a week from Saturday, the ever mysterious Tim is up. I hit the wrong one out of order for his Rovers of the Barrens game. All right, and we got some nice guests on that. How does one acquire said map? You beg and plead, and you find a Living Greyhawk Journal 2 it was in?
Yeah, I think it was 2.
Finite copies.
Yeah, and to find a Living Greyhawk Journal 2 with the map still in it is almost impossible. You got to find someone who wants to give up one of those, Michael. It's the only way to get it in the hard copy.
Or if you can find a PDF of it and you're willing to find somebody print it, then
cool.
Very
cool. So that is Saturday. And then we finalized this. Our next Super Saturday Night Special is April 9th. And I got the entire Slav squad, Mandy, Bones, Darling, MJ, Myriad, Zarathon have all confirmed. Along with, if you remember we had our DMs roundtable, and they're all like, please, Robert, play in the game. Robert's like, I've never played first edition. So Robert Hartley, GM, will be in that game. So I haven't worked out his character yet. I probably won't until after I get back from GaryCon, but we will have Robert Hartley playing in that game. He's actually canceling his Sunday, because he's in New Zealand. He's canceling his Sunday morning stream just to play in that game. So that's going to be a monster too. I'm looking forward to that down the road. So that's what's going on. Let's do these giveaways here. Let me flip back onto the main one. Thank you, everyone. Great audience tonight. Really appreciated it. Let's see. Last call for signups. So, wow, it's tough to find. I mean, I was lucky that I made a deal with someone in the community. It was very kind of him to allow me to get it. And like I said, it's one of those things that you've been looking for multiple years. So maybe the best will win. Yeah, I mean, once again, me not being in the community, Amy, I didn't know about it. So, all right, closing this out. Let's see who gets their choice. And we're going to raid into Trollord, our sponsor. They're playing a game right now. We'll raid into them again during a game. Rip, I haven't read your message yet. Just trying to finish up here tonight. We'll read it. And it looked like kind words. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words here. Let me close this out. Closing it out. Winner. Dale. Sure. Wah, wah, wah. Dale, is there any of these? Do you need any of these? You tell me.
Well done.
Yep.
Dale. He's probably hiding. I know I saw him one. Not tab. What is that?
He wants alt tab. Sorry.
What's that? I'm sorry. Maybe it's my brain tonight. Dale, let me know what I can. He can't see. Oh, I'm sorry. We got Deep Dwarven Delve. Any of these, Dale? Any Bueller? S4. Yes, there you go. All right, I got your address. S4. You got it, dude. Thanks for the support. All right. We made it. 10 o'clock on the nose. We made it through 2 hours. So thank you, everyone. Yep. The tab is nasty. It is, isn't it? Artificial sweeteners. Remember saccharin, everyone? That gives you cancer. Oh, yeah. All right, let's raid into. See you tomorrow night. It'll be a fun game. This group is. I think I've streamed this group once in its entirety in 3 years. So you're not. These are characters you may not even know, but they're high level. Like we got a dual class human, 9, 11, 9, 10, thief, illusionist. So it's gonna be some high level action for us. So we'll see. A little intrigue in this with the Thieves Guild, which is always fun. Well, thank you. All right. How about a fresca? Yeah, that's once again. Yeah, another quote from a movie. That's from Caddyshack. So see you all. Have a good one. This time I hit the right button. Judge Schmills, how about a fresca? Setting it up. See if we can get like 60 or 70. I bet you a lot of people are watching both streams. Chuck is DMing, so go over and say hello. Wow, 80. That's pretty good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll see you tomorrow night. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sure it went.
Yeah. I didn't want to say anything out loud. Sorry about the